Hello YouTube, welcome to today's video. In today's video we are gonna be talking a little bit about solo queue because there are some changes to the solo duo system that is going to hit every single one of us that plays solo queue. Some of us it will impact a lot, some of us it will impact a little bit less. And we'll basically be talking a little bit about the article called The State of Competitive Spring 2022. And yeah, I'll just get right into it. Most of you guys will click on this video for the changes to solo duo. So we will start with that and then we will revisit the entire article. So what we are investigating, solo only mode. In order to match player intent and provide the healthiest competitive individual queue possible, we are re-evaluating our take on solo duo and exploring a world where solo players play in solo queue and pre-mates play in ranked flex or organized 5v5 game modes. So what the changes are is the fact that essentially you can only play solo in solo queue, and if you play with a duo then you would be forced to play ranked flex or organized 5v5 game modes, whatever that is. Maybe they refer to Clash or whatever. What does this change do then? On paper, the system health and quality indicators looks really good. For example, in solo only queue, we would expect an even further decrease in autofill and secondary rates. This would be pretty good. Queue times could decrease by up to 5% for 99.9% of players. So this does not include me. Lovely. But also pretty good. Win rate advantage due to team disparities would vanish completely, also pretty good. Boosting would be eradicated, also pretty good. We would expect between team and within team MMR for 99% of players to be within one division's rank of each other during peak hours, also pretty good. Does not really hit super high elo on some of the smaller regions, but I think E-West has as itself is a big enough region that this will also be included. So that's what's gonna happen to solo queue. And then in addition, we would like to see the following for a ranked flex queue. An increase in queue population, drastic improvements to match quality, significant decrease in queue times for parties of 3, increase in overall match quality and competitiveness, increased opportunity for group and organized play. Now, if you wanna have the reasoning why they are investigating this as a solution, then I'll link the article below this video, or you can watch the entire video because we are gonna go through everything. But I'll quickly just mention that in season 11, Riot basically made it so that in solo queue, that when you reach masters, you can only play solo queue from master and in grandmaster and in challenger. And the thing that I will say about it is they did it at the start of the season. So meaning that the very first patch, I believe, that came out, you could only play solo queue when you reach masters. For that reason, I think it was pretty good that they did it at the very start because it put everyone in an even position when it comes to climbing past master tier. If I agreed back then with it, I probably did not, due to the fact that I was always used to the fact that in season 9 especially I was playing a ton of duo queue, also some solo queue, but I very much enjoyed to play with friends that I usually just would play with. And what happened to me since then is that back then I would very often play with the same people, same group of friends of maybe 5 to 10 people in solo duo. And comparing that to today, I am forced to play all by myself, and occasionally I will, through the matchmaking, meet some people that I know in solo queue, and sometimes I invite them into Discord just to have voice chat, like to both talk about the game, but also to talk about what's been happening since last time I've talked to some of these people, and it could be months and sometimes even years since the last time I've spoken to these type of people. So what it basically did to me was that it made me play a lot more by myself. The typical friends that I would play with or hang out with, I would have less interactions with. And yeah, for the sake of the game quality, how the game quality became, I would say that autofill, I didn't feel a significant difference, but maybe it got slightly better. Queue time wise, it did get better. And then the win rate advantage due to the teams disparities, not quite sure. And then boosting, sure, the boosting part was removed, but actually it wasn't. And the reason why is because you could still and you can still play Duoq up until your master promos, meaning that you can be Diamond 1 and you can still Duoq. Now, what people do nowadays is that they boost their MMR from either transferring, creating a new account, or dodging their master promos, and people can get as high MMR as basically having rank 1 MMR, meaning that their MMR is the highest on the entire region without even being challenger. So what they will do is that they will sit and duo in Diamond 1, but everyone in the game is challenger because their MMR is so high. And that gives them a significant advantage because they can just sit and duo while literally no one physically or possibly can duo. Therefore, I'm not sure about if the boosting would completely be removed. This has been used, I believe that Hillesang did it with someone. I can't remember if it was someone within Fnatic, I believe, who did this strategy. And then I also know a bunch of friends who did it. So that was basically the solution to, oh, I cannot do a challenger. I'm just gonna have a D1 account with challenger MMR, and then I'm gonna Duoq. So yeah, this doesn't completely remove it. And then this one we would expect between team and within team MMR for 99% of players. And then this again does not include super high elo due to the fact that there are just not as many players. And you kind of have to decide that, okay, I will either take the autofill or I'll take longer queue times because I cannot get both. So yeah, now they're making it solo only mode, or considering doing it for solo only mode for all elos, in order to fill out the ranked flex queue 1 and 2 situation where people queue up as 1 or 2 man. And what I will say is that the timing I don't agree with. I think that if Riot wanted to implement this, they should have done this for the start of Season 12, because now what has happened is you're sitting there for the first 2, maybe it's going to be 3 months by the time that this comes out, and you've been able to duo, or other people have been able to duo, which obviously gives a significant advantage, and gotten to higher elo, and then all of a sudden from one patch to another, you can now no longer duo. That kinda fixes the problem going forward, but what about the first 2 or 3 months of the season then? Because some people will simply say, oh, well, in the first 2 or 3 months I had like an advantage of I could play duo, and then for the rest of the year I cannot play duo, so I'll just play less and maintain my rank or whatever. I think the timing of it is not that good. When it comes to the game itself and the competitiveness, for lower elos, I think that you should just be able to duo. I think the game is much more enjoyable when you duo compared to when you solo. By the time you reach high elo, you're not really focusing too much on having fun. You're more focusing on the competitiveness. So I want to win rather than I want to have fun. So I think that the game is completely different when you compare low elo and high elo. And that was basically the reason why they introduced solo only mode for Masters and above back in Season 11 in the first place, was because that in high elo they basically wanted, there was basically some issues in high elo that weren't that common in low elo. But it was an easy way to fix it, and because we're such a small percentage of player base, then it's not really gonna hurt the 99% of players like here. But that's basically the changes. Solo only mode potentially coming for all elos. Let me know what you guys think about this change. And I will say that if this get enough backlash, so if enough people speak up, either on Twitter or wherever other you can comment, and say that we don't want this, it's a terrible change, we're not interested, then maybe this change does not get implemented. So the people who wrote this article is Riot Coldbear and Riot Riru. So these are the two people that you wanna not flame, but wanna say, yo, you might wanna get your head checked after wanna introducing these type of changes. So now the article itself. With the 2022 seasons of both Ranked and Clash underway, we wanted to take some time to talk about the state of competitive play as we see it today. Goals. As with every season, we would like to continually review our goals and evaluate how we're tracking towards them. Specifically for competitive play, we focus heavily on competitive integrity. Players have an even playing field in their competitive matches. Progression opportunities, players have meaningful goals to reach for. Team or organized play, players are aware of and can participate in opportunities to play with others of similar intent and skill. We evaluate these goals by reviewing player sentiment and other metrics such as match availability, time to queue, quality, are matches competitive and fair, and whether or not matches are compelling to participate in, are they satisfying, do they deliver on player intent, and do they offer a sense of progression. Ultimately, we want to bring everyone a competitive game filled with opportunities that match their individual intent and expectations. To do this, we try to create experiences in form of different game modes and mechanics that match your play intent and expectations. For example, solo Duoq is all about creating a competitive environment to improve your mastery of League of Legends at the individual level, while Clash is there to test your mettle as a team. Sorry. Both experiences have their strengths and weaknesses, but we are generally going in the direction we've been targeting. Let's dig in. What's happening now? We have some clear issues with our overall matchmaking and queue health that we want to address early in the season. These include the following updates. Revival MMR. We found that our current systems aren't as accurate as we had hoped in maintaining the expected MMR of players that have taken a break from the game, be it a few weeks or a year plus. As such, we're implementing a more dynamic approach to Revival MMR decay across all queues that should provide those players with fairer matches in their first 5 to 10 games back as they discover their muscle memory and game knowledge. Boosting evaluation. We addressed some boosting issues late last year, but we are still not happy with the current state of the game here. Looking at rank flex queue in particular, we saw issues with low MMR and high MMR combined premates that abused MMR discrepancy and account sharing to rapidly boost accounts to where they didn't belong. We addressed this in the short term by restricting the top tier players to only playing with other accounts at similar ranks. We acknowledge there's a lot more we should do here, and we plan on working directly with our anti-cheat team to identify solutions that will hopefully improve the integrity of ranked flex queue. Challenges launch. We're getting close to launch of challenges. It's been a complex project with its own unique challenges, but we are happy with how expansive we've been able to make it and are excited to roll it out to players globally. We are currently planning for challenges to go live in patch 12.9. We are on patch 12.5, so this is 2 months from now, so I don't know why this is here. That said, the launch of challenges is just the beginning. We plan to continually invest in leveling up challenges so it lives up to our vision as a robust progression experience for all League players. So, before we go into the next segment, the Revival MMR, I think this is a good change because you get put directly into Smurf queue as soon as you don't play like the game consistently. This boosting evaluation, personally I don't think rank flex queue gets as much attention as rank solo duo. There are some rumors, I'm not sure if this is true or not because I haven't tested it myself, but some people are saying that if you do insanely well in ranked flex queue, then you also either in some sort of way get MMR or matchmaking or something from that rank flex queue that makes your LP gains or matchmaking or something more broken in solo queue. so that you can both boost yourself in rank flex queue with full man pre-made, and then you can just go into solo duo, and then you can boost yourself there from the rank flex queue part. I'm not sure if this is true or not, this is just a rumor that I've heard, and if that's the case, then this is good. If it's not the case, I don't think this is the biggest issue on the entire planet. This, I don't give a fuck about this, so I have no clue why it's here, so let's just skip forward. Rank queue health and the pre-made problem. From a high level viewpoint, solo duo queue currently is currently in one of the healthiest states we've ever seen. Autofill is at its lowest ever global rate, hovering between 0.5 and 3% of player games. Queue times are at a 2-year low in many large regions and hovering firm in our small regions. Lastly, MMR accuracy strong, where 99% of players are playing with those within a maximum of 2 divisions of their rank, with a steady win prediction accuracy to back it up. That said, we do see issues with solo duo queue currently that consistently point to our accommodation of pre-made duos. This directly adds quality and population volatility into the matchmaking mix. It causes games with duo of imbalanced MMR to impact our autofill secondary roll rates, sometimes doubles the chances, queue times, 10-second increase for players per game on average, and most importantly, game quality metrics, upwards of 10% win rate spread in both directions. On the flip side, we've started to see a significant decline in the health of rank flex queue, where queue times 7 minutes on average for 3-person parties and match quality 2 to 4 divisions discrepancies between teams have diverged significantly. The ironic thing here is that the total population in rank flex queue remains healthy, but the pre-made distribution and make-up of that population has shifted to a point where it's difficult to make matches at a quality bar we would like. The root cause of this is the high number of 3-person parties that want to play together, with not enough 1s and 2s to fill them out, as these solo duo players can just option to play a different game mode. This can cause those matchmaking envelopes to expand to a point where queue times and quality expectations cannot reconcile. Additionally, the difficulties making quality matches for our most popular pre-made size amplify the impact of disruptive actors in the queue, like boosters who queue as a duo with their boostee, and account sellers who queue as solo, such that the queue itself overall becomes unhealthy, especially at the top level. To put it in simply, our inability to match premates in a compatible way is a detriment to the system that doesn't have a path to get back to being healthy without significant change. In the past, when we saw this, we attempted to resolve these issues by merging both queues together dynamically with learnings from dynamic queue, which we won't be revisiting. And a deeper understanding of player intent now, we know that it's not going to work. So what do we do now? And then this is where the solo only mode comes in. So to give my my points on rank queue health. So when they say that solo duo is currently in one of the healthy states we have ever seen, autofill as is the lowest ever global rating. This is not true, because there was a point where you couldn't get autofilled, so then it was like at a 0%, but the queue times was insanely high. So this is just not correct. Queue times are the 2-year low in many large regions. I believe that the queue times are not that bad, especially for the West. I know that smaller regions, it is a pain, especially in higher elo, but yeah. And then MMR accuracy, I think that this is not that true. I think that it can get improved even more, so I don't think that this is good. And then we see that on average people get a 10-second increase in queue times. I think this is literally whatever. If people cannot wait 10 seconds, then good luck in life. And then this one, 10% win rate spread in both directions. This is like the bigger issue. So I would like this to get fixed. This literally has no meaning whatsoever. And then, yes, this sucks that for 3-man pre-made, that 7 minute on average for 3-person parties is this high. But the reason why is because that people would rather play ranked solo duo, and the player base is mostly playing ranked solo duo and just occasionally playing ranked flex. So yeah, if you're playing as 3-man, then it will take a very long time to find a game. And then here is the solution to, or here's the reason why they want to make Duo go into flex queue and solo queue only be solo queue. The reason why is because that the people that have a 3-person party lobby in rank flex queue has an insanely long queue time. So that means that for those who are playing duo queue, those would be the last 2 pre-mates, or yeah, those would be the 2 pre-mates that will automatically join into that 3-man flex queue party, so that there are 5 players on one team. Do I agree with this? No, because rank solo queue is more important than rank flex queue. So I don't like the fact that we're interrupting ranked solo duo in order to fix a problem that is within ranked flex queue. So no, I don't agree with this. And then they're just talking about challenges. So that's basically the article. I'll link it down below if you want to read the last part. This is just some solo queue portfolio and then some challenges that I don't really care too much about. So let me know what you guys think about this, that potentially solo queue only will be introduced for ranked, and that if you play duo queue then you'll get put into flex queue or some other type of matchmaking game mode, whatever. I've already played with this on main account for 2 seasons now, so for me it doesn't change all that much. Only thing that it changes for me is the fact that whenever I'm playing a Smurf account, either a fresh account from unranked to masters, or when I'm playing on one of my diamond Smurfs with one of my friends, that I can no longer do that, which sucks, but I guess you'll just see me doing that less and just play more on main. So I don't agree with these changes. I think that the reasoning is stupid. I think the timing is bad. I think the things that it brings to the table for competitiveness is good, mostly. I think that there are some very good things that get changed by this. But I will say that I don't even think that this is the main problem for solo duo. I think the main problem is still autofill. I've seen a ton of people complaining about autofill still, and people not dodging when they get autofilled. Obviously you cannot force people to dodge when they do get autofilled, so the only solution is to just make autofill as low as possible. I do not want to play with a Shaco one trick who gets 80 carry. I'm not interested in that. I am not interested in playing mid lane myself. I'm interested in playing jungle, so please just give me jungle. Autofill is the main issue still. You need to put heavy focus on autofill. Then on top of that, we need basically a better system for detecting when people are not trying to win, especially for high elos. I do understand that in ranked solo duo, that the lower elo you are, the less tryhard you are, because you're just playing rank for the sake of it and it's not that high elo. But when we do get to masters, even at this point masters not high elo, but I've seen grandmaster games, sometimes even challenger games, where people are simply not trying to win. They're not actively trying to win the game. They're pretty much just there to either troll or just more or less do nothing rather than actually try to win the game. And those type of players should just not be allowed to play ranked, so we need a punishment system for that. We need autofill to more or less be removed, and then we need a better system for detecting when people are trolling or not trying to win, especially for high elos, but also for lower elos. Like AFK detecting systems, inting type of systems, whenever people are more or less just inactive in the game and just refusing to defend, or they're standing still in base for 2 minutes, not getting detected by the AFK system, and then they come back and play, because you need to be AFK for, maybe it's actually just 90 seconds. Let's say someone is AFK for 1 minute, and they come back and play, and then AFK for another minute. They're actively not trying to win the game. They're trying to either lose it or just do nothing. That's the main issue with solo queue. For me personally, let me know if you guys agree. And yeah, let me just end this video before it gets too long, because it's already 25 minutes. So thank you for watching, and looking forward to reading your comments. And I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video or on the next live stream. See you guys.